Hi y'all, it's FastFox90, and I'm here today to give you my very first V2 rocket, which I am as surprised as you are, people, because I suck at this game. I'm not very good. I have like a 1.4 KD, which for my expectations in a Call of Duty game is very below standards. Usually I try to go for 2.0. And and just to give you an example of how bad, I rage quit literally the game before this V2 rocket because I was getting my butt kicked on Aachen, which I hate that map, by the way. But you know, it kind of goes to show you kind of the fortuitous luck and situation I need to be in to get a V2 rocket, which goes to show basically as well that you yourself can get one if you're as lucky as me and you're put into a situation where you get set up with a bunch of Christmas noobs. But I'm playing on Point 2 Hawk, and I'm basically just going to commentate on the background of this video and kind of show you my strategy and just kind of general thoughts on my class up and whatnot. And you'll see a lot in the gameplay how bad this other team was and how lucky I was getting. And I'm totally self-aware that if it wasn't for these noobs, that I would just completely have gotten my butt kicked, and usually that's the case. But the class setup was the Mountain Division Hunker Basic Training perk with the PPSH. The Hunker Basic Training perk is literally essential to every class I have. It is so good. It is basically the Armored Division. It makes the Armored Division absolutely obsolete. There's no reason to have that division class in one of your class types because of this Hunker training basic training perk. And look at it, and especially on Point 2 Hawk where everyone throws grenades, and especially in domination, this game is so grenade happy that you need to have Hunker or at least armor division class because it's just everyone throws it. And you know, I've gotten so many like life-saving situations because I had Hunker on. And you know, the PPSH, everyone knows it's like one of the greatest guns in the game, or the greatest gun in the game, because I mean there's instances in this clip where I'm popping people from a long ways away and it's just a laser and it's super fast. And one thing that I will kind of brag about myself and pat myself on the back for is I was being very good at being very aware of the map and my situation and just the events that were going on this map, which, you know, I always like to pride myself in. That's what gives me my certain edge, is being that aware. I'm not a very twitchy kind of running gun type of person, which kind of caters to this style of gameplay, the Call of Duty World War II. So that's why I think I suck at this game. It's just because so many people are good at those types of twitchiness, and I'm not. So I have to rely on my awareness to give me some sort of edge. And I think, especially in this gameplay, I was being very well, more so than my average kind of gameplay, is that I was very aware of the UAV. I was very aware to the footsteps that were around me, and very aware of how should I handle certain situations, because there's certain situations where I feel like in previous games I've played I would do another thing and not do the smart thing. And this gameplay I was definitely playing a lot smarter, and that's one critique that I will have for myself a lot for Call of Duty, and especially in games in general. It's just I don't know why I'm just so inconsistent and kind of those types of skills and abilities, but I can be very inconsistent in trying to, you know, play that same way, play that smart every time, or play that type of accuracy like how I want. And today it was, you know, I guess the law of averages. It had to equal out, and it gave me some amazing awareness to balance out the kind of mediocre awareness I kind of usually have on a Call of Duty World War II gameplay day. But so, and just to talk more on the map itself, I think this map, Point 2 Hawk, is pretty good for domination. I think it's pretty balanced. The only problem I have is I think B can be way too overwhelmed with grenades. Well, I feel like that's B on every map, but especially on this map because of the trench warfare. And but one thing that it's good about is that I feel like it's fairly balanced on which side you're on. So I feel like some maps, if you're on A, you're kind of at a disadvantage, and if you're at C, you're at more of an advantage. I would say like kind of like Gibraltar or Aachen. I feel like those maps definitely lend itself to it's favorable to be on one side of the map, but which is good that they split it in half. But like when you have the opposing team has a good team and they can just kind of flip the spawns or continue to push, it makes this the game very frustrating. And I feel like Point Two Hog is one of the few maps that does a good job of kind of balancing it out. And this is a situation where, for example, I feel like I did a good job of being smart. I felt like, I read the situation right, where I feel like the guy in the bunker has a sniper and he's continuing trying to poke out. So I kept on kind of shooting the bunker just to like keep him inside, while the other guy, while I was able to twitch, react to shooting down the guys that were coming out. And so that was just like a good example of how that day I was doing very well in basically the law of averages of me being very smart on this gameplay, and then also very reactionary. And this is where the second half is where I started popping off, and I didn't die once, so strap in, folks, for a pretty sick gameplay. And again, I know I'm saying sick gameplay when it's in regards to very scrubby players, and I'm fully aware of that, and I know that's the only way I'm ever going to get V2 rockets, if that's the case. But I'm going to still, pat myself on the back because I feel like it's still pretty hard. One kind of, advantage that this team did not do that I think definitely lends itself to changing the way the map is played is by going on those ledges that's right in front of me right there that look out into B, because they weren't doing that a lot. And they were kind of either circling the map a lot or going through the trenches. And those little ledges that look out into B are very powerful. And I've always felt like I lose whenever I see a team using that a lot to protect B. And especially with the spawns on Point Two Hawk, where sometimes you will spawn right outside that ledge and you just run over and pop the person that's on B very quickly. And this is a great example of how bad these players were. I liked my strategy of creeping on that ledge to protect myself and trying to get myself ready, but the fact that I was able to hide behind my care package and then for them to not turn around, this guy to not turn around and kill me is, I don't know, not the greatest. So that my strategy for this map, which I wasn't really using a lot, but I've been using recently, is not more so circumnavigating the map, because I feel like it's the outside of the map is a little random, but to go inside the trenches surrounding B and just kind of like pop people off, especially being aware of where they might be spawning. I usually do that by just looking at the arrows on the map where my teammates are and kind of guessing. And guessing where they're going to spawn, because I don't really follow my teammates that much in domination, mostly because I don't have a squad of my own to help me win games, which I feel like would benefit me greatly. But usually I will kind of go on my own. I'm a little bit of a lone wolf, a lone fox in that regards. And the only time I'm with my team is if I'm capping, and that's another example of how fortuitous I was. I understood in that situation they would probably be spawning near the barn, but I didn't think they'd be that close and all of them would be spawning, so I kind of got lucky that they were unaware that someone was right next to them. And I got very lucky, and thank goodness I had extended mags on the PPSH, because I don't think I would have gotten the V2 rocket without it, because in that situation I would have ran out of ammo. And in this situation, this is another good one of just like listening to the footsteps, and that's why I love the mountain division with the SMG, because you get to listen to footsteps, and usually it's kind of hard on this map because of the stupid airplanes that go above. But again, the law of averages for me was you know, I was able to listen to those footsteps, and I was like, my ears were very keen, very aware to those situations. And again, with my kind of situational awareness, I would have usually, most days than not, gone after that first guy that was going towards B, but I paused because I saw in the UAV that there was a guy also coming, and I switched to him first before I went on to the next guy. And oh my God, what is going on here? Oh God, did I get a V2?
Take pride in your accomplishment today.
Oh man, I got a V2. Damn it, I didn't get to call it in. And I just wanted to take a break from commentating to show you my reaction with my girly, shrilly voice, and realizing that I got a V2 rocket, because I found that hilarious and very embarrassing, so I wanted to put that in because I love to embarrass myself. But yeah, that's the gameplay. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I was saying, very opportunistic for me, and as you can tell, you too can get a V2 rocket if you're able to get a bunch of noobs on the other team, and you play at an extraordinary, extrasensory type of level that you're not akin to. Because in that gameplay, I was definitely more aware of my situation, very more aware of kind of my surrounding, and to my UAV, and to the footsteps, and I was also more kind of reactionary. I don't know if it was because I had host or the internet connection was a lot better, but I felt like I was kind of twitching to people a lot faster than they were doing it to me. So I don't know if that was just basically because of skill or what have you, whatever game mechanics that can sometimes play this game. So I hope y'all enjoyed. If you would like to follow me on Twitch, I'm at FastBox90, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. That's it for me. Bye, y'all, and have a good morning. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.